Hi, John Chapin with your latest sales tip. And this tip involves calling on large companies. A lot of salespeople get intimidated calling on large companies if this is something they're not used to doing. They get overwhelmed by the size of the company and they think, wow, where do I even begin? And the first thing to realize is that just like any company you're calling on, even the smallest of companies, there are usually only one or two key people or decision makers. So understand that even at the biggest companies on planet Earth that might have a huge headquarters and perhaps they have thousands of people working in the headquarters, you're not calling on a huge brick and mortar building. You don't have to talk to and impress tons of people. You're simply calling on one or two. Maybe in a big company, there are maybe three key people or decision makers, but that's it. And by the way, whenever you're calling on a company, any company, you want to have at least a couple of names of people you can call on, because that way, if one isn't there or isn't available when you call, the other one might be. So your odds go up of reaching someone. In the banking industry, I was usually calling on the president and the chief operations officer, COO. So pick the top person, maybe somebody in operations. If it's a huge company, VPs, senior VPs are good targets. Again, in a large company, you might even pick a third person you can try to reach if the first two aren't available, but don't do more than three. Next, do your research on those people personally and then on the company. So personally, how are you going to build that trust and rapport if you meet these people? Depending upon the personality types, you might be spending more or less time building personal rapport, but you want to know something about them, where they went to school, where they're from, what their interests are. Just be ready to build some personal rapport if the opportunity presents itself. And of course, you have to do research on the company so you have an idea where they might have some issues that you can help with. But again, don't allow yourself to be intimidated or overwhelmed by how large a company is, how many employees they have. All you need to do is realize that just like any other company, you only have to connect with an individual person who puts their pants on the same way you do. They have wants, needs, desires, fears. They're human just like you. And you're reaching out to simply have a conversation to find out if and when you can help them. It's really that basic and easy. And sure, are there ultimately more decision makers involved in the decision-making process of a large company? There might be boards involved, other groups. Yeah, but even at the largest companies, it's going to come down to one or two, maybe three key decision makers that you need to win over. So again, don't go overwhelmed by the size of the company. Just focus on connecting with one of those people, just like you would at the smallest companies you call on. All that said, there are a couple of things to keep in mind regarding calling on big companies. One, don't make a cold call on a large company when you're new in sales or new to the business. You want to cut your teeth and make your mistakes on the little guys first, not the big guys. Second, if you are new to sales, you're new in the business, and you have to meet with a large company because they reached out to you or you've been assigned accounts and they're one of them, bring one of the higher ups in the company along with you on an initial meeting. You might even bring them to a couple follow-up meetings just to make sure you're treating this account properly and all the T's get crossed and the I's get dotted. Thanks for watching. For more information, go to CompleteSelling.com. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next video.